Okay, your middle name is Macho, but I'm wondering if you ever cry. Has Macho Man ever cried?
Yeah.
Really?
It's okay for macho men to show every emotion available right there, you know, because I've cried 1,000 times, I'm gonna cry some more. But I've soared with the eagles and I've slithered with the snakes and I've been everywhere in between. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. There's one guarantee in life, and that there are no guarantees, yeah. And you gotta understand this. Yeah. Nobody likes a quitter. Nobody said life was easy, so if you get knocked down, take the standing 8 count, get back up, and fight again. And you're a macho maniac. Dig it.
Because an alchemist doesn't take their haters' energy and transmute it. That doesn't even mean anything. An alchemist takes a hater and turns them into a friend. An alchemist learns over and over again that nothing in this life is personal. An alchemist knows how to separate the earth from the fire, the subtle from the gross, gently and with unremitting care. An alchemist doesn't throw around cliches and aphorisms without knowing where they came from. An alchemist doesn't use a word that they don't have the literature for or understand the context or culture of. Being an alchemist isn't something you do and then move on from. It's literally a way of life, one that requires a commitment that most of us are not willing to make. Are you willing to be triggered by somebody's opinion that completely conflicts with your own and approach them with curiosity and love and openness? Do you have a genuine willingness to understand that which disagrees with you on the most fundamental level? Are you ready to accept the fact that there are always going to be parts of you that will remain undiscovered? There are parts of you you may never reach. Are you ready to be like a tree? Because I told you this a long time ago. That's all it takes. What does a tree do? It looks like it's just standing there, but a tree is always pushing against the edges of itself. A tree is always rising, no matter how subtly or how silently. She knows. The work never ends. And once you take that first step, once you genuinely peel back the veil, there's no going back. And if you're gonna open that door and not follow through, it's just gonna make your life harder. Because once you take even the slightest little glance behind the veil, it's gonna be really hard to unsee. Are you willing to see every moment and every interaction as an opportunity for you to grow?
Since inception, NASA has received over $700 billion of taxpayers' money. NASA currently receives roughly $70 million a day. Have you ever wondered where it goes?
B-Mark.
Minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We have to go for ready to start. 2, 1, 0. Booster ignition and liftoff of Shuttle Endeavour, NASA's final space station compartment that brings a bay window view to our celestial backyard.
Hey, Grand Wednesday, everyone. It's good to see you again. I had to take a mental check day yesterday, and we're going to talk about it a little bit. Can I get a quick sound check real quick? 5x5, how we hearing?
Sound great on my end.
Good. Here, let me see if I pull up the chat on screen. So that kind of helps too at times. Yes, I wanted to do a mental check-in with y'all because I do that with myself on a daily, and I'm really into that type of thing now. Healing, being better, self-improvement, and all that jazz. It's good for you. Anson, but let me get a shout out to my homies over here. Benny Boy, I see you. My sister Angela Baby Carson in here again. Good to see you, sis. And JJ, my man, good to see you. Jeremy, Red Cap, good man. What's up? Tapered Bodies, Mojo, Lord Racer. I see you taking a lunch break, doing your thing. Thunder Chicken, the legend. Mr. Sander, good to see you. Austin, good to see you. Run Boston Bear. Shout out to all you awesome, great souls. And welcome to another FMX radio show. An afternoon special. It's been our thing. Hey, Mr. Trublin, how you doing, man? How you doing?
Man, I am having quite the week. Quite the week, man. When I seen the show titled Mental Check, I was like, man, how aptly named, right? There's been a weird vibe out there lately. Absolutely. But
there has been a weird vibe going along, and you can blame the celestial lights if you want. You can blame it on the great design. You can blame it on many things. But what we need to really be focused on is all the opportunities that are being placed in front of us with that different obstacles that are there to challenge us, not to stop us, but to make us better, to make us stronger, and inevitably make us wiser. And to do that, you have to take mental checks. You have to kind of just mental check is not just your mind; it is also your body and soul. It's all three combined. For me, the mind is in the middle, is like the in between the body and soul. So you balance your mind; it helps regulate the other two. And if you're in the athletics and church, then this would be the third thing you need to do. To finish the trifecta, as it were. So, intrusive thoughts. My worst enemy of 2023, probably the most of my life. And I just wasn't aware of it. And since I've been kind of poking at myself, analyzing myself, seeing what I can do to break old habits and traditions, especially generational curses. I at least call it that. It's maybe has a better term, but I look back in my family's history, especially my immediate one, my parents themselves, my mom especially, has a very hard time dealing with her own past unhealed traumas. And in doing so, pass them along to me and my brothers. So it is upon myself to fix myself to be a better version, the best that I can be, even better than I once thought possible before, because I didn't have this behind the scene story of my own life because I didn't view it that way. I viewed it as things was happening to me. I don't have any effect around what happens to me and whatnot, and not realizing it didn't matter. I have effect over myself and my own beliefs, and even my own thought, or even the thoughts that I attract. Because as we know by now, I'm sure, our thoughts are not our own. We have to keep reminding ourselves this. I had to do this a lot yesterday. I won't go into details, but I got triggered in my own journey, and it's kind of stunted Tuesday for me. I didn't get a lot done as I would like to. Obviously, I wasn't able to do a show because I want to come online and I want to put out a certain type of frequency, a certain type of energy to attract a certain type of souls and people. So I can see if I'm not freaking insane myself, but it doesn't seem that way. Many others seem to be sharing a higher vibrational state of mind, or seemingly so. So when I got triggered yesterday and I calmed myself down, and it took kind of talking to very close friends. Shout out to the legends that reached out to me. They seen a silhouette through the veil of smoke and reached out and like, yo, you okay today? I'm like, nah, not really. And they talked me off the cliff. There was no cliff. I'm just frame of a reference. But I calmed myself down, and then I had to keep reminding myself the things I'm sharing with you. That wait a minute, all right, why am I thinking these things? I wouldn't say the things that I was thinking about myself to other people. So why am I allowing these thoughts to resonate me downwards when I don't feel natural there? It doesn't feel safe there. My anxiety flared up, and then I found myself pacing around. Hands started getting mucky, and then I just couldn't sit still. I couldn't get my mind at ease. Even at times like this, you know how hard it can be to just simply sit down and meditate. It can be the biggest challenge yet because sitting down with yourself is one of the biggest obstacles most of us choose not to face, because in doing that you have to deal with the things that you've suppressed your whole life, and then when you do start doing that, it starts bringing up other stuff you forgot that you suppressed. So then you inevitably bring up these triggers and unhealed wounds, but when you start poking around and feel where they are, now you can start to work on them. And every single person that's been around me, I feel very honored, seems to be opening up to me on their healing journey too, simply because I'm choosing to open up to them. So now, showing a little vulnerability, because believe it or not, FMX is actually just a human being. I am also nothing but blood for water for blood. What are you thinking, Trouble? How you feeling, brother? Where's your frequency at today?
Man, I'm really vibing with that. Especially when you were talking in the beginning about how the challenges placed before us are there, not necessarily as a stumbling block, but as something to leap over, right? To be triumphant over. And in doing so, we do become the best versions of ourselves. Um, so I'm actually going through a very similar situation. You're not AI. What? Yeah, no, unfortunately not.
I know, I know. It's hard to believe.
It is.
You don't get a beard this perfect in real life. I know. I'm just kidding.
It's super funny. Yeah, no, not AI, unfortunately. I wish that were the case, right? That'd make everything super easy. But I actually did a stream a little bit ago, not how I don't know how many days it is now off the top of my head, where I kind of let everybody know that I was going through some stuff. Was going to be contending with the beast earlier today, and as a result, I will actually, unfortunately, have to be stepping away for a little bit. It is sad news, terrible news, but not the end all be all, not the end of the world. And I will be returning. So definitely continue to show out, show your support, and we will be continuing the show, right? So if you want to know more about that and how that can go, then definitely tune in either tonight or tomorrow night, and probably tomorrow night because Witset's doing a thing where we'll go ahead and go through some stuff and maybe go through some more details, open up some lines. Like for you guys to jump in and get a chance to talk with yours truly. And yeah, bittersweet, right? Bittersweet. During this journey, I will have a amazing opportunity to be able to go on one of the most intense dopamine detoxes that you can go on. And so, with that, I'm going to attempt to become superhuman. So,
If anybody can do it, you can do it, Chubbling. We have faith in you. We have complete and utter faith in you. We're going to pull through. Everything's going to work out in the end. It's going to be awesome. And just like you, other men in the audience and people listen to the future, keep going. Don't allow those thoughts to rule you. There's zero evidence, scientifically speaking, that the human brain creates any type of thought. There's people walking around with half a hemisphere of a brain. Multiple of those people exist. One with right, one with only a left. And they're still thinking. They're still working. They're still functional. Their body suit still works. So we are more than our physicality, especially even the insides. That's why DNA is 99% junk blood and crap like that. We don't understand our own physiology yet. We maybe never will. Maybe it has to do with the way we believe of ourselves, is what we keep finding about ourselves internally, physically and spiritually. So do yourself a favor tonight, folks. When you, if you're not into daily prayer, which I utterly suggest you do that. There's nothing better than, venting to the Lord. Because I'd rather vent to the Lord in the creator of all reality than to go online and share my feelings with a whole bunch of people that really don't give a shit. Not talking about y'all, but y'all know what I mean in general. I just and you don't. I don't want to put that energy out there anyway. That's not me. That's not my steez. It's not what I. That's not. I don't dig that. And unless, and then when I see that out there, when other people do it, I assume they need deeper help, which is why they're allowing their pain to surface. And I mean, a lot of it could be attention too. There's a lot of attention seekers out there, but them aside, everybody's in some type of pain. Everybody's in the struggle, and most people are in the state of mind of lack. So there's never enough of anything. And then you have spontaneous purchases and consumerism and all the other different mental hurdles we got to jump through advertisements and color shading, subliminal messages and frequencies. There's a lot we have to contend with. But if you focus on yourself, I truly believe it makes all those other external factors pretty much null and void. They can't affect you if you vibrate yourself high enough. But you can only do that if you truly work on yourself and you do the work. I mean, do the work. And there's no timeline. There's no date that you'll be done by. This is a life journey we're talking about. You're an artistry painting of yourself that's going to go on to the day your physical body dies. And that's what we have to look at it. And you have to be enthusiastic about it. It's the only way you'll change. Giving yourself an enthusiastic, motivated attitude and daily affirmations and daily working on, after you say those affirmations, you do something nice for yourself. After you say something nice about yourself, you do something nice for yourself. And then you do something nice for others. The trifecta. It all starts there. Feel me?
oh yeah, absolutely. Heal yourself, heal the world. Show kindness to others. Show kindness to yourself.
Correct. 100%.
Also, uh, as above, so below. As below, so above. Same thing.
Yeah, exactly. I think Austin was going to join us. I'm not sure if he fell asleep. He got caught up with the kids or something. But yeah, I know he wanted to speak on this too. So we'll this is going to be an ongoing conversation. This is not going to be the last mental check. So think of this as part one or whatever, mental check A, and we'll have a B, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. But we're going to start working on this together. Think of this as a whole nother level of therapy on FMX radio. Now we're not just doing positively. We're fucking healing over here. Ooh, I didn't mean to say that. I'm trying not to cuss. I'm trying to watch my words. Don't do that, kids. Don't do that. But yeah, that's where I'm at. That's probably why I slipped too, because I'm not on as a high vibration as my default has been lately. So, now you'll see what I look like when I'm not, screaming into the mic and getting all sporadic. Here, let's play a little clip. I had something to show y'all. Hold on, let me see if I can find it real quick. We were going over these TikToks last time, troubling, and we seen that plants sing, and the people were hooking up different little speaker electro devices on them that picks up microfarad voltage, and these plants freaking sing, man.
Nope, 100% fake.
Yeah, of course it is. Of course it is.
I'm just kidding. I don't know. I actually haven't seen them yet, so this will be
Oh
pretty.
no, yeah, we'll show you. I was looking after the last show. I looked into a little bit more. I was showing my daughter it and whatnot. And of course, now she wants to order a little device somewhere. I've heard a lot of different type of scammers out there too, so I really want to do the homework on it. Maybe talk to my homie Zach Sabala, see if he knows anything about that. He's very electrically inclined, and I'm sure there's some validity to it. You know, I don't see why somebody would like, oh, let's just mix this shit up. I mean, we know there's electrical signals going through everything, you know, organic wise. So
My guess would be that it's so low of a voltage that it dissipates or recycles into other stuff before it can accumulate to a point that you can use it for electrical devices. But that's just my guess. I'm not an electrician.
no, I mean, this goes beyond the normal electrical trade. As a 10-year vet myself, I mean, up until last year anyway, most electricians know just the status quo official story of electrical, which is, you know, I don't know if y'all know how we conduct electrical around the world, but it's literally just magnets and copper coils or aluminum coil. We can make it out of any, you know, high grade metal, but copper is the cheapest for us to, you know, mass manufacture and string up everywhere and slow everybody's electrical down. But anyway, that's what they teach you in trade school and in any other college across the realm, because that's the only way they're allowing us to achieve these electrical frequency levels without any further. I would imagine we're going into high frequency Tesla area where things will be picked up on other devices. Oh, that's what I wanted to share too about the South African dude who's got everything running off of radio waves. You probably seen him around TikTok a few years ago, and they've been kind of stunting him for a while. And I could have sworn they said somebody murked him already, but he's still alive doing his thing over in South Africa. They guarded him like a treasure. That's what I hear. That's what I understand. And I hope it's true because it's amazing. A helicopter, TVs, a house generator that receives the incoming signal. Everything running off of we call it hypersonic frequency. So it's even above radio wave. It's even higher than that. It's amazing. And it converts that high of a frequency down to usable 12220 voltage, or wherever you at. It ranges across the realm, but it's still
Does it need electricity to work then?
no, it is using it. It's converting this high frequency radio waves. It's the best terminology I put it right now, and then steps it down to usable high voltage electrical wirelessly for incredible ranges.
Wow.
So yeah,
Can't have that. That sounds way too convenient. And like we'll be able to maybe create free energy devices with that kind of technology. You know, if you can manage to get the radio waves off with
Let's
the
see if
very lower.
I can find it real quick. Go ahead, keep talking. My bad.
I was just gonna say, if you can get the radio waves off with little to no energy, right? Then you can. But that'd be the question, right? Figure out how to take the radio waves that are already out there and convert that into electricity, so that the devices can then work better. I don't know. It sounds circular now that I'm saying it.
I know he's got to pop up here.
I'm guessing there's a machine that sends out this certain type of radio wave.
All right, let me share this screen for you. Boop, boop, boop. Share. Jump over here.
And in Africa, who claimed to have built a car, a generator, and even a helicopter that ran on radio frequencies, a true free energy device that keeps batteries consistently charged. Once we arrived on site, our goal for the vetting was to establish that the device could power a welding machine, which uses a lot of electricity very quickly, for long enough that it couldn't be running on batteries alone.
If it's still a fully charged battery?
Dude! One final check of the battery voltage revealed a shocking result. Not only had the machine outlasted the expected battery life, but the batteries were still fully charged. This proved that the device was being powered from an unknown energy source. I learned about a young man in Africa who claimed to have built a car.
Nuts.
Yeah, man.
So where do I sign up for? Where do you sign up for one of these? Because my
It's-
electric bill is high.
they're probably gonna hoard that. They're gonna create Wakanda over there in real life and be like, yeah, y'all Westerners ain't getting none of this.
Or it's like, yeah, you can come in, but you have to take these series of boosters.
Oh God. Can only hope not. Hope such a thing wouldn't happen. I doubt it. I doubt it.
But they
The
know that.
resistance is stronger than most people give credit for. That new movie of Freedom, something about all the kids being kidnapped from Snap and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? The new
That
movie.
doesn't sound very free.
Yeah, yeah, of course. I mean, I guess it's an oxymoron title, but it's doing better. It's doing gangbusters. It's doing better than all the other movies out right now. Any of the Disney movies is crushing all of them for first weekend over like I think 400,000 or 400 million or some crap or 40 million something, and it's just to show you, and they didn't want this to happen. Of course, they watered down the movie from what I hear. It's only 70 kids. Well, if you look at the numbers, it's in the millions that go missing. Across the realm, worldwide. So yeah, trial. I don't want to even say certain words on YouTube because you just say them out loud and you'll get flagged. But yeah, we can say CT. Yeah. Gotta really trying to watch my P's and Q's on this platform. Trying not to, get flagged myself. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to check it out. I seen somebody with a Nick. I seen somebody talk about the five Gs. Anybody preparing for the 5G? Where was that at?
Yeah, I got a tinfoil hat right over in the closet. You just
I'm on. But I hear other people talk about that. I don't think it's a big as concern as we make it to be, because again, my reasonings are always the same, pretty simple lately. Because I believe I'm a reincarnation this time, and I'm a super. I want to change it to, instead of just saying simulation theory, I want to make something that sounds more sci-fi, so people will like get away from that innate trigger, like, oh no, we're not in a fake world, and like it's not what I mean. It's just the best term we have in English at the moment. So it's God's simulation. How about that? I'll just say it's God's great grand simulation where anybody can create anything they want if you truly believe it. I believe these same things work with these frequencies. I believe these frequencies, like anything else, work the way you expect them to work based off your innate belief system. And it's like everything else in this world, if you start to fear it and you focus on it, well, then you get it. And that's why the particle experiment works. That's why Dr. Emoto's experiments worked, because it was all about human involvement and expectation. That our simple act of our innate creation that we're doing at every millisecond of our conscious life, and probably our unconscious life when we're asleep in bed, we're creating. But we give our power away and say, no, it's not us. No, I'm just a human. It can't be me. I'm too weak. I'm too fragile. I'm too small. I'm too everything. Again, the same thoughts. This will be the overarching mental check, even though we'll go dive down different hallways of the conspiracy theories and abstract ideas. But it's all mental. Everything. The simulation itself is a mental simulation. It's not digital. It's celestial, if anything. It's cosmic. It's extraordinary, if you were, because it's beyond our current understanding of it. That's why we're grasping at straws. That's why we put out hypotheticals, and then that's why we get mad at each other when we see one version and they see another, and then you can't come to a middle ground understanding, because our thoughts, we take hold of them and then we start running with it like they were ours in the first place, not realizing the person you're arguing with also attracted their thoughts through the same methods you did, and you're both right according to your own realities. But instead of realizing that it's your ego that's maintaining thoughts that really hold no actual value because they're not yours in the first place, you just put yourself in a state of mind and body in such a frequency where you can attract those certain thoughts, period. And when you calm your mind and you allow yourself to open up to new possibilities, you always attract new thoughts. But if you refuse to allow that to happen, you will not experience that. Therefore, you're always creating your own reality. and God's great simulation. Lev, I'm just playing with you. Good to see you, Mr. Shaolin. And shout out Water World. I just seen a whole bunch of people come in here. I seen a couple new people anyway. Oh, not new, but I didn't see earlier. Senior Alex Michael, good to see you, my friend. Mr. Shaolin, I said hi to you. Sky Dome, good to see you, Pete. And anybody else I missed, thank you for being here. And I hope that you're having a great, fantastic week. And if you had any like little low dips like I did earlier this week, I hope you're on the upswing like I am right now. And it's okay. It's going to happen. We're not always going to be 100%, 100% of the time. That's just unrealistic. And honestly, that would be make you pretty much Superman if you could just, stay on such a level. Maybe there is. Maybe there's masters of the mind I haven't met personally yet that can get to such a state to where they just attract nothing but positivity, and rarely bad anything happens to them because they're able to perceive their interaction with this realm to not allow it to go too far south for them or to get out of hand. But I'm sure there's new challenges.
Yeah, what that's it's a tough one for me at this point. I'll be completely honest because I definitely consider myself pretty good at energy work, right? And I would not sit here and say that there's nothing to meditation, there's nothing to mental work and the mental aspect. There's definitely something towards manifestation. I feel, but I am wondering if the times we manifest stuff are if there's more truth to the what's the word I want to go with, if there's more truth towards the Abrahamic worldviews, in that there actually is a more personal deity that or genie in in the lamp, if you will, right? Like sometimes you get your wish and sometimes you don't. And with this whole experience has been really challenging because I've been attempting to manifest the absolute best outcome to where I would not be in the position to have to walk away. And I feel like I did all the steps right, just to just to be honest, I felt like I was nailing it. Everything seemed really, really good. And then you get hit with it and it makes you wonder, it's like, well, what the heck was all this for? And then, you can find ways to justify it, right? Like, well, maybe subconsciously it's what you wanted or something like that. But I mean,
No, I
it
think
sounds like it's
it's
reaching.
there's delayed satisfaction, and then there's also delayed, opposite of that too. Delayed consequences, I should say, of things that we choose in the past. They catch up with you at times. But I think when you get to a certain point when you're really analyzing and digging in on yourself and you're doing that work, which this could be your swan song, as it were, like your cleanser for the new beginning, for the thing, for the crap that you've been going through for yourself. That's how I feel like for me, that every aspect, especially when I look back in hindsight now, I'm like, huh, this wouldn't happen if that wouldn't happen, and that wouldn't happen if this wouldn't happen, type of thing. And everybody has those same stories, their own correlations to their own personal stories. But we are the ones creating our realities at any given point. And even if the things we're creating doesn't manifest immediately, which they rarely do because we're not freaking Harry Potter. And if we can be, we're not doing it right, obviously. But nonetheless, when you focus on something, a thought, an immaterial thought, something that doesn't even exist yet, rather something you're going to do, something you're going to build, create, design, whatever, it starts with you wanting to create something. You didn't even know what you wanted to create yet. You just wanted to create something.
Well, let me just challenge it for a second, right?
Absolutely.
So, with that being the case, and obviously, just so everybody knows, I'm not trying to start a debate, right? It's not the intent, but just to kind of pick the brain a little bit and see if we can dive deeper into it, and honestly, see if I can develop more, even more of a solid opinion on the facts of the matter. And basically, we went back to, with that explanation, FMX, we go back to the, well, it must have been something that, wanted subconsciously or that you were focusing on, and if neither of those are true, there's also the possibility that other people focus and manifest things for others, right? And that's, there's no small task, right? But joint manifestation is a thing. And conspiracies are a thing, and groups of people do get together and create scenarios and things of that nature. So, with all that being said, it's not just as simple as your own manifestation, right? That's why I kind of bring it back to, if that is the case, right? And I still think that that very possibly can be, that it is a battle or a contest, animated contest of will, if you will, to kind of take a play off of the animated contest of liberty bit. You just throw in a contest of will, and that it becomes the will of an individual or individuals versus the will of the opposing force, right? Whatever that may be.
The battle of the wills, 100%. That and it's energy. That's your will is your intention. We use a different word, but will and attention is the same thing. What you put your attention on is what you're willing, right? And then what you're putting behind that intent will determine the results that you get out of it. And I don't know if that seems like an alchemical thing, but it's a concept that I came to from my own experience that I noticed when the harder I focus on it and more I push on it mentally, it inevitably became a physical reality. And it's happening in all aspects of my life, meeting people, relationships, friendships, platonic and romantic, and even business relationships, and working for people, working with people, having people work for me. It's always a battle of will and intention, attention and intention. What are you putting into the other people around you? Are you just there to suck out their energy, or are you actually trading with another person? Whether that be financially or emotionally, or just being somebody just quietly there to be a friendly ear to. It's all attention and intention. Our will, to exist, to be part of this interactive simulation. I gotta be messing with people. I got to do it.
There's no entertainment without conflict. Unfortunately, what the heck was that? I hope that wasn't on my end. If it was, I apologize. But
Oh,
um,
I didn't hear
I had
anything.
this like loud ding on my end, so whatever, it's all good.
Oh shit, that might have been my phone. Oh, it's connected. Oh, my bad. That was me.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, there's really no entertainment without conflict. I mean, try to play any game, right, where there's no winner or loser, and there's no, goal, right? It just doesn't it's not fun, right? It's not fun at all, and you're very bored. The other way of putting it is like, idle hands make the devil's workshop, and the way that I interpret that is like when you're idle and you're not, like, doing something or, pushing forward towards a goal, you're unwittingly participating in your undoing, in your destruction, right? And that's just because the pendulum swings, right? And it doesn't really matter what you do, it's going to swing no matter what. It's just a matter of if it's going to swing towards your intentions or if it's just swinging back the other way because you don't give an F.
Correct. Yes. 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 I like it. And thanks for saying the whole devil's idle hand thing, because that's as far as I remember to go. How it goes. I'm like, yeah, y'all know the rest. Y'all get what I'm trying to say. I have to start putting all these quotes on sticky marks around my computer or something. But let's take a break real quick. I need to use the bathroom, so we'll play a quick little commercial. And thanks for joining us with us. Oh, before I do, I wrote this down because I seen the emails late, and I don't even know when y'all purchased them. But shout out to y'all who already donating to my GoFundMe that I haven't even much promoted since the last show because I've been dealing with other crap and then trying to get other stuff done. But yes, I'm still there. I'm still motivated. Got my list going even harder. I think that Jeremy and Michael, I think already donated, and a couple people bought some Etsy shirts. And everybody who got some from the Etsy store, some clothes, please take a picture, send it to me. And if you can't get a hold of me, get a hold of Austin or send it to Troubling. Just get it to me, however you can. I want to see it, and I want to make a commercial with you because you're supporting me. So I want to support you, put you on player with me, and put some music behind you, make you look real cool, snazzy and stuff. But yeah, I'm really humbled and honored that y'all would do this, just have faith in me like that. And because I mean, I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. It means a lot. So thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I hope to keep putting out some high vibrations and good content that's kind of unique, to the community and YouTube in general. I know there's hundreds of thousands of channels out there, so I feel real blessed to have the attention I get from y'all because that's y'all's will, that's y'all's power, and I feel that energy, I feel that love. I'm sending it right back. That's why we're doing this mental health check thing, man. That's what we got to do. So we'll be right back. This is FMX Radio Afternoon Show. Send you all the love. You sexy soul bastards, you. I love you. We'll be right back.
From flatearthdave.com, and you're listening to Flatman X Radio.
Imagine if somebody took the whole Earth and cut out a small circle.
Then they took that circle and wrapped it around a sphere and told you that's where you live. Now imagine that our world is a much larger, expansive plane with many world ponds, and they did the same thing with a small section of one pond. They cut it out and wrapped it around the sphere and said, "This is where you live. This is all there is, and you're not allowed to explore some." It's time to break the matrix of the globe Earth mind prison. They are hiding your true potential. They are hiding everything.
Hey, everybody, this is David Weiss from FlatEarthDave.com, and you're listening to Flatman X Radio.
We've become bored with watching actors give us phony emotions. We're tired of pyrotechnics and special effects. No scripts, no cue cards. It isn't always Shakespeare, but it's genuine. It's a life.
Let me ask you, why do you think that Truman has never come close to discovering the true nature of his world?
We accept the reality of the world with which we're presented. It's as simple as that.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
All right, welcome back. FMX Radio doing the thing, keeping the mental health in check, right? That's what it's about, making sure that all parts of your life is as balanced as they can so you can rise and be the best version of yourself as possible, you know, because there's not enough of that around, man. There's a lot of miscommunication and confrontation, especially in the metaverse, which is obvious we're in the early stages now. And you see how fast things are transmutating into new things. Whether you believe in Mandela effects or not, we're going to have a whole bunch of new ones in the next decade. I have a strong feeling that the things that you do your best, I go try this. Go ahead, try this. Because as far as we know, Mandela effect really wasn't a common talked about thing, not even in our community 5, 10 years ago. I mean, for certain people, it was obviously, but it wasn't as widely a topic, even though it's not a widely accepted topic. It is a discussion because lots of us remember certain ways being certain ways for sure. And now the reality is different. So if you feel compelled to try this yourself, try to bookmark all the different things. Quite impossible, isn't it? Already just saying that seems impossible. Most of you hear that like, no, I'm not going to do that. I hope somebody does, though. Like most things. I'm one of those somebodies. And I see people creating conflict with me in the next 10 years when inevitably I remember things being a certain way right now in 2023 that probably won't be the same way perceived in 2033. Guarantee it. At the very least, if it's not part of hadron colliders or some type of celestial tinkering through the heavens and the angels are messing with the luminaries, messing with our timeline and adjusting it so it's not as bad as it could be, but better than it should be. I don't know. Who knows? Who knows? Just putting hypotheticals out there. What did you say, Taper? I just seen that. Mandela effect. Swear this channel was called Fat Man X, and I'm not sure. Hey, I see it. It's already happening. It's already happening. See, it did little things like that. Nah, yeah, I'm adapting. That's why I want to leave it FMX radio. It'll probably always be FMX radio. It has a nice ring to it. And remember my origin story. Like, it's Fat Man X all the time. What'd you say, Troubling? Oh, he stepped away. But yeah, if y'all want to talk about this up here and share your thoughts on what you do for your mental health check, if at all, or if you have questions, and I can give you my opinion. I'm no therapist myself. I'm no doctor of any rights, but I feel like I've done more work than most people in my physical circle, not to say my internet circle, which is way more massive. And I see every day that I'm following and I'm friends with a lot of highly intelligent people that come from a wide variety of traits, and that's excellent. There you are, you and your hat hair, bed hair. You look like you just woke up.
Nice, dude. That's what happens when you don't have gel, right? It just fucking falls to the wayside. Oops, pardon my language. Bad hair day. Already said it in the comments. You all know what it is. Can't bat it all out of the park 100%, right? In fact, you know what? Here's what we're going to do. Live on air. Boom.
Nice.
Profiling and profiling.
Shifty Eye said, smoke therapy works well for me. Touche. I know it does. There's a lot of people it works well for. It used to work well for me for I hate to say for the better part of my life. it was working for me, but unfortunately for me, I abused the shit out of that damn plant for many, many years, and I used it for everything. I used it for when I was pissed off, then I used it when I was celebrating stuff. So there was no wrong time. You use it before dinner and then use it after dinner. It became too much of a crutch for me, and I really want to see what I can be like 100% off of it, at least for a while. I know I'm gonna smoke again. I know no problem with trees whatsoever. It's God's greatest gift to us as far as plants go, and all its wonderful things it could do. So, just for my personal journey, it doesn't serve me at the moment to indulge too much. But but here and there, when I'm stressing the smoke out, I didn't even have any the other night when I was stressing out. I just dealt with it. But I might order some from some people and everything, have it delivered, and then when I'm stressing the hell out, at least I have something. So I'm not hating it. I'm just, I was a habitual smoker, troubling too much, bro, too much. Like,
I feel that.
And I was a blunt smoker on top of that. I don't really do bowls and bombs and all that stuff. Yeah, that's what we do down here in
You might as well just smoke cigarettes, bro.
Yeah. No. Tobacco leaf and cigarettes way different, way different. And I mean, I'm sure I know it's not healthy for you. I'm not defending it any more than it just tastes better than cigarettes. Not a cigarette guy. Never have been. I'm not even a big drinker.
Big Pine, dude. You're in the haze, man. Haven't smoked for a few years until a few weeks ago. Now I can't take more than a hit or two, dude. I remember those days.
Nice.
You just take one, and it's like, wow, I'm good for the whole day. Absolutely amazing.
That's where I'm going when I do start doing on a regular basis again. That's going to be my thing. I'm going to keep my tolerance level low and keep my production level high. As you can see, I don't know anybody who's been following me for a while. One of the reasons I'm able to push out so much work lately is because I have a lot more free time on my hands, not smoking and not really sitting there just scrolling through my phone or going to hang out with my friend to go over there and veg on his couch or just to talk with him. I mean, the conversations I'm having with you, I have with some of my closest friends, but we're all adults now, and we all just get hang out and get high and talk about this stuff for no reason. And
Just have anxiety about your impending problems. You're not doing anything to fix anything, right? You're just sitting, smoking one up.
Exactly, and it does. It softens the blow. I mean, it does take away that anxiety. But when you do that, especially too much, you take away so much anxiety because anxiety is natural. It's part of our defense mechanism to get shit done. If you never had anxiety, you would be the laziest motherfucker because there's no way unless you're just so rich that bills are paying themselves. So you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth. I get, but how many people can really say that?
Yeah.
Less than
Yeah, I
1%.
obviously don't have any problem with the greenery, but I do think it's funny. I kind of remember that Cat Williams bit where he's like, "Well, if you ain't got no job, and if you ain't got no kids, and you ain't got no wife, and you ain't got no pets, and your electricity's cut off, and you're still not smoking weed, what the hell are you doing?" That's funny.
Yeah, it's been about 4 months for me now, Steph. Although I admit it hasn't been a consistent. I did break a couple of the marathon run, but I'm still counting the 4 months because I was busting my ass. I took it seriously, and I didn't. I was stressing out the morning. The next day when I was good, I didn't because I'm telling you, when I got up in the morning, like around 10 mid morning, lunchtime, after after lunchtime, but before dinner, after dinner, and before bed. It was just too much, bro.
Anytime let's just be honest, right? It's an addiction when you get to that level, and you can tell it is because when you look back, retrospect, you can see that holy shit, I literally stopped and took a hit or two before and after every single thing that I did today. Like I didn't go to the store without taking a hit. I didn't go to bed without taking a hit. I didn't eat anything without taking a hit before and after. I didn't start working on this project here at home. You name it. I've met people like that. But
I know them. I know a lot of them still.
But hey, that's where the discipline comes in, right? I hate to reference South Park on this one too, but like anybody can do all or nothing. It takes discipline, right, to be able to live properly. So enjoy it, right? There's a time and a place and a time to relax, let go. But there's also, of course, time to get busy, right? Time to wake the heck up.
So, how you doing, guys? Good to see you again. Another week for us, Mr. Lev, Mr. Anson. How y'all boys doing?
Hey, FMX. Yeah, good, thanks.
Good. So, how's y'all's mental check-in this week? How's your mind feeling? How's your anxiety levels and whatnot? Y'all good? Y'all feeling good?
Yeah, good.
I know you would. I know you were gonna say that, Shaolin. You always seem like you good, bro. I don't think nothing could piss you off. What about you, Anson? How's you feeling, man? How's your body? You feeling healthy? You feeling strong today?
Yeah, you're breaking up quite a lot for me, and you have been.
Oh no! Fix it.
It's fine, yeah.
It's all right. I'll go back to YouTube.
So what do you do? I mean, I think you told us before, Shao, but go ahead, reiterate when the times you do get some intrusive thoughts, some thoughts you don't really want to be thinking out, that's not serving you at that moment. What do you do to calm yourself down and get rid of your anxiety?
I suppose like in Wing Chun, we've got like the center line philosophy. As you extrapolate in physical, intentional, and like mind, body, and spirit, you know what I mean, and stuff like you get things in your mind and your body, and then you do it with intention. That's like with your spirit, then. Right? So when you're practicing, like taming the tiger is to tame the ego. So this is a downward block protecting your groin from a kick. Taming the tiger, you know what I mean, and stuff like. And for some reason, that can help you kind of understand your ego, you know what I mean, and stuff like. I don't really know how and stuff like that kind of thing, but like with a center line, it's much easier to understand and stuff like, because that's to do with like objective thinking. So like if I've got problems, say I've got 10 problems, right? But one of them is like a major problem, you know what I mean, and stuff like. So it's like that needs to be sorted out first, you know what I mean, and stuff like. So like this is like an organizational thing. So like when you're in combat with Wing Chun, it happens that fast. It's like it goes too fast for your mind to keep up with it, you know what I mean, and stuff like. So it's like auto-responsive and stuff like that. So when we do chi cell, it's an energy sensitivity drill. So it's like when people's got their arms on my arms, when we're training that, we're constantly in contact. So I can feel somebody on outside of my arm, you know what I mean, their palm kind of thing. And if they come onto the inside, I can feel it there. So there's an energy change, you know what I mean, and stuff like. So then if you train blindfolded, you can feel it even more. You're more sensitive to it. So then like so like with a blindfold, that's even showing you, like I said, it goes too fast for you to even see it. You know what I mean? Your mind can't comprehend what's going on. Like, you know, when you drop a ruler and the other person has to catch it, and it's like a reaction test. And, you know, it's really difficult to catch it because, you know, your eyes deceive you because there's a delay in your visual receptibility and stuff like that. It happens, your eyes receive the information, it extrapolates that information for you to your brain to understand it, and then you see it, you know what I mean? Which quite often it's too late. So in that same principle, if I were to strike somebody, as opponents don't see it, we stand straight forward kind of thing, like rather than standing sideways. And the thing is, when people stand sideways, you can see how they move their arms and stuff like that. So quite often when people telegraph a movement, you can see it in the collarbone. So if I can look at an opponent, I can see the collarbones move, and I know what they're going to do. You know what I mean? That's visual. But for them, they can't see me move because I don't change. You know what I mean, and stuff like I don't move. I don't use my shoulders. It's all comes from the elbow, so you don't see any collarbone movement and stuff like that kind of thing. Like so, but that's all, you know, to reaction speed and visual aspect of things and stuff like, you know, which center line. We've all got a center line. Everybody's got a center line. Every living creature has got like a line which goes in between, a symmetrical pattern of what we are and stuff like that. So it's like a line that divides your lungs, your tongue, your nose, your eyes, all these kind of things and stuff like. So that's your center, you know.
Part of the duality of this realm, yeah.
Yeah, in a way, it's kind of like because we've got two hemispheres to the brain, haven't we? You know what I mean? So if I'm going to be able to use two hands and stuff like that kind of thing, I've got a coordination, a balance, all these kind of things and stuff like. So there's quite a lot of necessity for that aspect of things, because it's not just a physical world; it's a spiritual world as well. You know what I mean? So it goes in different directions, like north, east, north, south, west, east, stuff like that kind of thing. And stuff like that kind of thing. Like so, in a human experience, you've got different directions in terms of physical and spiritual. So, so anyway, this center line and all that kind of thing, we describe like between two people, right? There's a line which connects to them. Now they could be facing in opposite directions, but there's still a line which connects them both. We call that the mother line. So what I want to do is get my center line onto the mother line, and then that's how I've got the advantage point then. You know what I mean? And stuff like. So with that, it's like you're seeing where people's arms are, you know what I mean, how they come towards you and all these kind of things and stuff like. So if they come forward and I can cover, like I described last week. So, you know, like I can hook somebody's hand and then they throw the next arm and you can you can hook that one kind of thing and trap it and stuff like. It it's part of that objectivity in a sense, like what's most important right now. Because like when I'm sorting out my bills, say, right, I've got all the time in the world to think about it, but in like a combative kind of aspect of things, you don't have that time. You know what I mean? So it's like you've got to make that decision now, in a sense, and stuff like that. Like in Bruce Lee movie, it were like referencing that he didn't have time. You know what I mean? So he's got to like do everything, and so he's doing his training all the time. He's working on his writing for his movies and whatever else and stuff like, and media attention or whatever and stuff like. He had his school, etc., etc. His children.
Not enough hours in the day, man. There's not enough hours in the day. Lord knows, I don't got enough time either. Feeling like
Yeah.
write my movies and
Well,
craft and my workout, and I don't have the Bruce Lee beat 'em up skills, but I got his motivation. Some of it.
You see, I suppose like you mentioned anxiety and stuff like that.
Yes, that is. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's the same with like ego and fear and all negative aspects of emotions and stuff, that kind of thing. Are things which kind of gear us up, aren't they? You know what I mean? Without fear, you wouldn't run out of way of a bus when it were coming. You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Well, I suppose it's common sense as well, but but in the aspect of like when we look at what the government does at the moment, right? They encourage anxiety. They want that, and then they want you to rely on them for like their happy pills and all this kind of stuff, like, which is, I think it's quite damaging. You know what I mean? Some of them things and stuff like, there's one of them that you take it. I can't remember what it is. It's a tablet, or I think it is, but I've not had it. You take it, and then like for about 2 to 3 weeks, you feel like really, really depressed. Right? And this is somebody who's already got depression. You know what I mean? Because that's what they try to give people who are depressed and stuff, like that kind of thing. So it's like a lot of people actually even commit suicide during this 2 to 3 week stage. But then after that, they're like eternally happy. It's like, it's almost like, is it destroyed part of the brain to make that element of like, because it's like when you access your fight or flight, you know what I mean? That's like when a bus is coming and you run out of way, you know what I mean? We need that aspect of ourselves, you know what I mean? And stuff like, so like a lot of these tablets, they're not good for you, you know what I mean? And stuff like, so this anxiety that they push on you, they're wanting to do it because they, well, like, but they don't want people to leave their house. They don't want people to socialize with people, you know what I mean? They're really cutting back on that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? So anxiety is a really good one, because then you're much more likely to stop in, not socialize, and all these kind of things and stuff like. So it depends. You know what I mean? It's
Yes. Yeah. It makes sense. Makes sense. Hey, Mr. Anson, can we hear you better? Can you hear us better, as it were?
Yeah, I can hear you fine.
Excellent. Excellent. So I hope that didn't stress you out. How's your anxiety, Anson? You feeling good, man? You have any triumph stories you can tell us about your success of defeating your anxiety?
Not really. I'm not great with anxiety myself. I struggle, but I think recently it has been pretty crazy out there, and it's a sort of double-edged sword, because it's not feeling like making you feel really paranoid about going out and doing stuff, but then at the same time realizing that the vibrations can get a bit intense. So I've been staying home quite a lot. Just try and keep it chilled.
going into nature. That's one of the best things for curing anxiety and bringing yourself back into balance.
Absolutely, yeah. Staying away from this, because it's the sound vibrations as well. When you're in a, urban space, it's all the cars and the,
noise
everything.
and radio waves and stuff like 5G, etc. Your phone.
Exactly. Radio masts, and it's just accumulation of stuff. It's not really a natural way of living, and it's okay to a point, and it can be fun, I think, to live in a group of people, but it's just they're taking it too far. It's
it's too
everywhere you turn, you've got a camera on a lamppost. It's like every single lamppost is like, it's just weird.
But observing us. you know, like if I do on Facebook and Twitter and all that kind of thing, it's for them. Like your phone's for them. It's not for us. You know what I mean? They want to know everything about us and all that kind of stuff. Like, so it's like the.
Well, I hope if you figure out a method, Mr. Anson, to get, to deal with your anxiety better. This is exactly why I wanted to do this show today, because I
Oh
know there's
yeah,
a lot of us men out here and ladies too who just have issues, keeping the anxiety down. Not all of us. I'm sure there's some awesome people out there, and you're already mentally fortified, and you probably got it down. But not all of us do. and especially for us guys, we don't like to talk about it because, society's built us in a way where men ain't supposed to talk about this type of thing. You're supposed to shut up and deal with it and be a man up, blah, blah, blah. But I say no. I say take your time, care for yourself, invest in yourself, and treat yourself. But to do all that, you got to analyze yourself. You got to really look at yourself. And as y'all gentlemen already know, it's work. It takes energy, and it's a new way of living, a new lifestyle that literally changes your life. And unlike having to go, just like going to a gym, you go inside to do the inner work. But instead of going to a gym, like Mr. Lev said, you go to a forest or the beach. I love going to the beach. I live here in Florida. We have lots of beaches, and grounding myself out, putting my toes between the sand, one of the best feelings ever. And I don't do it enough. I need to start going. And I've been indoors a lot myself lately in front of my computer, but I try to get at least once a day, go run around the block with my shirt off or something, try to get some light rays and some vitamin D as much on my skin as I can. And it all helps. It all helps. Saying the things and then doing the things right after you say them, and that succession will set the mood for your day if you do it right when you get up in the morning.
It's kung fu schools as well. Kung fu, yoga, all them kind of things. Like exercise is really, because it's like bringing yourself back into balance. Like, there's the internal side, like you said, but there's also like the physical side. So like that kung fu aspect. Kung fu, like I highlight kung fu and like yoga and stuff because it works in your chakras. You know what I mean? So you are doing that inner work with it. It's like, balance in that kind of sense and stuff. It's like the yin yang, you know what I mean? It's always in balance. So if you're going to go into anxiety, that's what you need to get back into balance. So that's what it's teaching you in one sense, you know what I mean? Even though mainly it comes from government and they're this enemy and they want you to stay in anxiety, but you as like a realized person, you know what I mean, and stuff, like as a truther and stuff, and as that kind of way of objective thinking is to like get past these things and stuff like. So it's like, walking in nature, kung fu classes, yoga classes, or just gym or whatever and stuff like that. But I'd like running, you know what I mean, going for a jog, or walking's good enough for exercise and stuff like. But anything which brings you back into balance.
In sort of making small, small tasks, small things you can work towards, and then once you achieve one, getting that feeling of achievement, and sort of makes you believe you can do it, and then you can move on to the next one, and then that's the sort of accumulation of positive energy to get it going, rather than the sort of negative thing where it's like, well, I'm never going to go out and do stuff because I feel bad, and then I feel bad, I continue to feel bad physically, and it's a vicious circle then, isn't it? So
it is. You got to push yourself, especially on those rough days to make yourself feel better. It's that power of will that me and Troubling were talking about earlier. It's knowing that it exists inside you. That soon as you make the choice, you start to feel the weight of it all kind of start to lift. But you gotta do it. You have to start it, even if it's something small. To get yourself out of that funk. If it's looking in the mirror and saying something positive about yourself, or like going out to nature, or a simple walk, it helps. It really works because it's your actions, it's your intent, it's your will. It's the little things, and the more little things, they add up into a point where you abundance of little things now it outweighs all the things that originally gave you anxiety.
Yeah, it's true, because at the end of the day, that's it. You are only you are you. So in the fundamental sense, that energy has to come from within to form that mental state within yourself. But like as we know as well, we help each other and have to struggle with all the negative forces while doing that. So that's how I see it, as a balancing act of the onward, the continuous mission you're talking about of improving yourself with, like, you know, putting up with different stresses that come that, you know, we shouldn't really have to deal with, but we just have to at the moment and just have to accept it. So yeah.
And it's a good thing. We do have to accept it, but it's how we look at it too. It's going to feel awkward at first. We're breaking out of the old versions of ourselves. This feels uncomfortable because it's supposed to. Anything that dies, it usually hurts on the way out, I would imagine. And when your old self dies, when your old belief system it no longer serves you, you have to release it. And in doing so, you also have to release a part of your old self. And so you can expand outward. I played a little video at the beginning of the show from one of my favorite not Twitch, TikTok streamers. She calls herself Twitchy Witch, and she's an alchemist and a Harvard graduate. She's highly intelligent, and she's very awesome to listen to because she when she speaks in story form, even during basic conversations. It's beautiful. I would love to master that skill. But she says that something about damn, how does she put it? I just heard it. That uh, it's great to be kind of like a tree because no matter how you perceive any tree, they're amazing in their own rights because they're always, they're always growing, but slowly. Their success isn't a amount of how fast they get there, but the fact that they always do, and they do it by pushing on their outer self. So they're growing from the inside out. That's why bark falls off of trees because the tree's always growing from the inside out. So I don't know if I made sense of that correctly, but it's kind of, I don't know.
Yeah, like skins of an onion sort of metaphor.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Layers, one layer builds on the other layer, and then the other layers just die off, but then it's just getting bigger. Sort of out, like you say, outwardly, exponentially.
Thank you, Anson. Thank you. Yes, you said it better than me. But yeah, I mean, I'm feeling better already. I'm telling you. I'll let y'all in on a little secret that it's not just me. All of us content creators, we all get anxiety before our shows, man. Even some of my homies who've been doing this for 8-9 years, they tell me behind the scenes and whatnot. Yeah, it still happens to me, and it's crazy. It's like you said, it might be just part of our nature. It's supposed to be there every single time because it makes the will, that intent that you wanted to do to surpass that anxiety, that to pass that fear of failure or mistakes or whatever it is that creates that anxiety on a subconscious level, to be able to just push through that. It's worth it in the end because you had
more rewarding as well, isn't it? Because you're doing something. If you go into it thinking, "Oh, it's easy and I can do this," once you've done it, it's not. It's a bit of a come down then.
Exactly.
So
because I'm still winging this kind of shit. I usually think of what I'm going to talk about the day of that I do it, unless I have somebody set up as a guest to talk to somewhere. Which, by the way, I forgot to promote last week. I don't know if y'all know who Freeman Fly is, by chance. Y'all might not, because he's over here. He's an American, and he's back in the day. So Freeman Fly, I'll let y'all know because y'all might not know his, but you might have seen him because he's been in the conspiracy game since the internet became a thing for online. It's like AOL days, right? So back in the day, I used to I would come home. I was like 18, something. I come home from the club, and then there'd be at the end of the night, back on the OTV days, they ran out of stuff to put on TV, and they would have a public broadcasting channel where anybody could sign up to do a 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the morning show when it was dead air. And he was from what I know, the first conspiracy theorist. And I know he wasn't the only one, but he was definitely the first one and the most long-lasting one. That he would set up his occult table, and he had all his Masonic books everywhere. He had a skull on the table. He puts crystal. He still got all that shit too. Last I talked to him, and I ended up meeting the man too. But he was the first one I got introduced to before Alex Jones, before David Icke. It was Freeman Fly on public broadcasting channel when I was like half drunk or high at the time. I was like, well, who the hell is this guy on crack on TV talking all this craziness? Didn't take nothing he would say seriously. Like, man, this man he's somewhere else, man. That's nuts that people out there. But hey, and then fast forward to like 15 years later, I find him on an Apple podcast when Apple started releasing their podcast, and you could go to their stuff and download the people's shows. And I found him again. I'm like, oh, I remember this dude. And that's the guy from Public Broadcasting. And I started actually listening this time and hearing what he was saying. I'm like, whoa, he's serious about this. Like his pops was like a grand mason, not a grand mason, and intricate notes that he left that his brotherhood never picked up. And Freeman went over it on shows a long time ago, and I'm sure he still talks about it. And he reveals a lot of crazy ass ideologies with inside the brotherhood, specifically the Freemasons, or at least his grandfather's or his father's version of it. I know there's many sections and there's many sectors and there's many different groups within the groups and subgroups, but his story is pretty fantastic and it's awesome. And I'm going to have him on when he lets me know a date he's good to go. And so you got to look forward to that. So, like today I'll be on mental health thing, checking the mental health, but later you got something to look forward to. I'll introduce you to my man Freeman Fly, and he's going to tell you the grandest stories. He's already got some movies out, some online movies he's put together. I feel like a dick for not remembering him because I've watched him so many times. Damn it. It's a lot of it's about Hollywood. He's always exposing the Hollywood agenda and all the pedophile crap going on in there and all this, the symbolisms. Deep stuff. So it's gonna be nice to kind of have him update me on all the stuff he's learned since then and how he's adapted his model because he learned about FE actually just a few years ago, and that's why I finally got to meet him in person at the last Flattoberfest, and it was great. It was fantastic, and he was fantastic, and it was great. And I can't wait to have him on, and I can't wait for y'all to hear the stuff that he's gonna have to share with you. So if you want to check out his channel, Freeman Fly on Rockfin, I don't think he's on YouTube. He might be. I know they've taken his crap down a lot of times because I shared his stuff on YouTube, and they struck my ass quick, fast, and in a hurry. Like, whoa. They don't like my man Freeman just as much as they don't like my man Brian Stavely, man. They don't like people talking about the weird, the oddities, the fringe of that's documentable, that's traceable. So yeah, look forward to that. I'm gonna make a little commercial for it and everything. I'll make a cool little thumbnail. But real quick, thanks for joining me here on FMX Radio Show Afternoon Show. We're gonna take a quick break. I'm here with my man Lev and Anson from across the seas, my brothers from another mother, holding it down. And I'm feeling better already. You can hear the pep in my voice change. But yeah, we'll be right back. Stay with us. Boom.
I'm Christopher Crumb, and you're listening to FMX Radio.
One, two, three, four.
What's going on, people? Alex Michael here, Conspiracy Music Guru.
And you are listening to FMX Radio on Rockfin. Yeah, let's raise those vibrations.
I told you so. I told you. Remember when I told you about 9/11? Remember when I told you about Building 7? Remember when I told you about the fluoride in the water? Yes, I did. Remember when I told you about the New World Order? Remember that? Remember when I told you about the chemtrails in the sky? Remember when I told you that NASA was full of lies? Remember when I told you about the ultra mind control? Well, I just want to say that I told you so.
I just want to say that I told you so. That's my man Alex, boy, be killing it. Ha! Man, we got some work to do together too. I've been slacking on my man Alex. I told him I'm gonna send him some stuff. He's gonna throw something together for me so we can do make some creations. Me, him, and David Weiss and Jaren, the Melodome together, the Ultimate Transformers group. It's gonna be great. We got some things. The rest of this year is gonna be dope as hell, and that's not even including the Flatopafest happening in the Vegas. You already know what's going down. FMX Radio. I'm here with my man. Can't talk. Getting too excited. Let me slow down. I'm here with my. That happened. See how I scale throughout the show? You know, start on the low, end up on a high. That's what we're doing here, man. That's what we're doing. I wanted to show you this. This is another video, Lev. Earlier, I was showing everybody the South African dude. I gotta find this gentleman's name, but he's fantastic, and hopefully he won't mysteriously like kill himself with a bullet in the back of his own head or a giant tractor falls on him or something. But yeah, free energy through radio waves. This is, the closest thing that I would think that Tesla would have had in his mind. I've seen a lot of different designs, but I like the radio wave one is my favorite, other than earth grounding. Dr. Parkins thing from TikTok is just a 25-year-old kid who put together this awesome transmitter that he's got going into the ground off of his own generators, and then he transmits it through earth ground to a receiver and all the way across the country to this other TikToker. It's fantastic, and other people across the realm and North America are starting to install them in their backyards too, to see if they can just get this free energy from Parkinstein. So yeah, I'll show him later. But this is another video from the South African dude.
Wave generators. Their inventor is Maxwell Chikumbutso from Zimbabwe.
That's him.
He is called the African Tesla. A very compact African technology made it possible not only to create a free energy generator, but also to upgrade the car so that it could move without fuel or recharging. As a result, even a helicopter was upgraded. Recently, the inventor presented a very small 500-watt power generator. Its output allows you to power a widescreen TV from free energy. And there are dozens of less-known inventions in different countries. In the USA, Malaysia, Georgia, India, Turkey, Japan, Uzbekistan, Mexico, New Zealand, and many other countries, there are research teams developing fuel-free generators.
How is that, you may ask, and how it's possible to launch these technologies? How inventors are still alive and their generators are not yet been destroyed?
That's because they get energy for free and sell it to consumers for money. While the generators themselves cost crazy money, the percentage of people currently receiving energy from these systems is negligible compared to all of humanity. Therefore, FFGs that are actually working now are in no way helping all people to become energy independent.
Telling you, free energy is probably my favorite thing outside of our home, and even that's not more important than mental health at the moment, but it's one of my favorite topics because it's something that we can all use, we can all benefit from. So I think it's probably the most necessary thing outside of food, energy and food and mental health. Three top of my priority list right now. I like it a lot. And I've been in a car, Shifty. I seen that you posted that about the water for engines. I've actually designed our own model of hydrogen fuel cells back in 2010, and I was actually lucky enough to be part of the Sarasota State Festival back in 2010, and we entered our project there along with Toyota, Honda, and I don't remember if Nissan was there, but it was during the 2010s era, like literally that year, 2010, when it was on its second wave, and I got to join it because my uncle knew Stanley Myers, and his buddy, who was real close friends with him, taught my uncle how to make his particular design using a fuel cell and literally vinegar vinegar water. It simple. The Toyota and big manufacturers, they not only they're not going to show you the recipe. The morons I was talking to at the festival couldn't even explain it very well. They had this whole sales pitch and all, but they couldn't explain how their goddamn car worked. It was hilarious. And then you pick up the hood to look at it. It's just plastic skirts everywhere. They hide everything with black, and then the stuff you can't see, they use black tubing. So if you get curious, I won't pull it up here because YouTube doesn't like when I reshare the video, but it should be on my YouTube. It's definitely on my Rockfin, and I show off like a good 20 minutes of me walking around with the BS 10 megabyte camera cell phone I had in 2010, showing off. We had trucks, motorcycles, RC cars, motorized bicycles, generators, solar panels, everything that's hooked up to hydrogen generators. We're running everything off of water out there. My uncle's truck. We had a Hayabusa that was a hybrid Hayabusa that we had running off of hydrogen, and it's there. It works. It's free, and it's better for Earth because it doesn't release all the pollution, and you can literally just go to the ocean, scoop up a cup of water, and put it in there, and then drive your ass home. That's how it's supposed to be. But Stanley Meyer's dead. The other black dude who died last year in the shooting in the gas station, randomly died. The guy he was supposed to come out here in America. Now we got the South Africa dude. Hopefully South Africa take care of their inventors the way, unlike the way we take care of ours. So we'll see how that goes. But Mr. Shaolin, I am going to have to start closing down this show at the 1.5 hour mark, as I have my beautiful daughter with me. We're spending the summer together, and I want to cook us a nice dinner. And I also have to get some more editing work done because I didn't work yesterday. So what you got going on the rest of this week, Shao? What are you doing? Meditating, showing, teaching the week challenge?
Yeah, to contribute towards that anxiety aspect as well, that first step, and someone kind of saying it, want you know what I mean, and stuff so I do a lot of training at home, you know what I mean, and stuff I used to go to Wing Chun class and stuff like that, but that's years ago now, kind of thing. But I still train at home and stuff so press ups, but say just do one press up and all that kind of stuff. But that's quite anabolic with training and stuff whereas if you learn to do kicks, you know what I mean, just one kick a day or something like that kind of thing, then you have to balance on one foot. You're training your stomach muscles, so that's your core area, and you make it it's just really good training to practice kicks and stuff like that kind of thing. So that's a good thing, you know what I mean. I've still got videos to make, and I'm trying to move house, which is I've been trying to do that for a while now, so it'd make it a lot easier because I'll be able to get on with my videos and stuff like that kind of thing. But most part, and trying to sort out memory on my phone.
Oh, again, I want to remind people, whoever the people who bought shirts from my Etsy store. Here, let me share that real quick so I can show it around. Just don't forget to send me the pictures if you're hearing this now in the present or later. If you want people who bought it after the show's done and you're hearing my voice, send me a picture. Reach out to me and you do whatever you got to get it to me, man. I want to see how beautiful you look in the clothes I designed, because it's awesome. It came from here, yo. I designed this stuff. I'm like, whoa. It's surreal. All this is surreal, and y'all being here with me is surreal and fantastic and motivating, and I really appreciate y'all. You all, whether you realize or not, you help me with my mental health, because I don't know how I'd react if I was out here pouring my heart and soul into this and nobody's like, yeah, shut up, moron, we don't want to hear you, we want to hear some craziness, tell us crazy stories. I do have crazy stories though, so don't be surprised. I dropped some crazy edits. I just put the GoFundMe also. The movie production still going on, still working on the script. Just even for episode 1. I feel like I'm being a little too picky about it, but either way, I'm looking for certain things, and I don't. Mr. Tribune might not be able to be my protagonist because of certain events unfolding. So, but we'll deal with it. We'll roll with the punches. I'm even thinking about if I can't get troubling, maybe reaching out to a local FE actress. There's never been a female Truman, so that would be kind of interesting. Most people like watching women on the camera anyway. So if anybody knows any actresses in the Central Florida area that's willing to do some promotional work for herself being in independent film, send them my way, because I don't know anybody. All the women in my life I know dare not to get in front of the camera for some reason. I don't know. I don't understand. You ladies are weird. I don't understand you, but it's okay. I still love y'all. I get it. I don't think Shao understands either, but we're not supposed to, right? It's one of those 7 missed wonders of the world. You know how women work. You know, I don't. But
Like going on camera, you mean? I've been on camera before. Well, I've been, I think we're on Austin's.
Oh, you've been on. Oh no, I didn't mean
know.
on this camera. I meant on my movie camera, not this camera. No, you're fine. You don't got
Right,
to. You're good. But you need to show your beautiful face sometimes too, don't you know? Share your beauty with the world, bro. I tell everybody that, guys and girls, no homo. Checking my notes. I think I went over everything. Thanks again for everybody who supports me. JJ, I saw the Rockfin tip late. Thank you so much, brother. You're always looking out for your boy, and all that stuff's going to be going right back into the projects and the creations and the future. And as soon as I'm, whenever the GoFundMe reaches any type of level that I could, pull it out and start getting a camera and stands and wireless mics and yada yada yada. I'll plan on using those again for later projects in episode 2, 3, and 4, and assuming people like it and whatnot. But yeah, that's all I got for the moment. Let's go out on a high note. Lev, you have a fantastic week, brother. God willing, I'll be on tomorrow with y'all, at least for a little bit, hang out, send out the good vibes, do the mental check thing again, and I'll find another interesting topic because I'm always scrolling online and people put suggestions in my head. I'm like, yeah, that's cool. Let's talk about that with my people, see what they think about it. So with that said, sending my loves out to all y'all, and take care of you, take care of yourself for me. I take care of myself for you. And then, we'll all be on the up and up, vibrate higher, and watch your thoughts. Very important. I don't know what everybody's going through who's listening to my voice, but don't get tricked into your thoughts, making them think that that's you. It's not. You're experiencing having thoughts, the good ones and the bad ones. None of them are yours. There's no evidence of that. So there's no point of getting over emotional on either of them. Don't get too happy on the good ones. Don't get too sad on the sad ones. Maintain a balance. That's the trick here, like Wing Chun. You gotta be balanced, right, Lev? It's all about balance.
We're saying Wing Chun. If you don't control your mind, someone else will for you.
Yeah.
That's why it's important to, to train and become like self-realized,
Yes.
those kind of things and stuff.
That's well said. I need to write that down. Say that more often. And what you think, which is what you become. Rather you think you can. So many good ones. But we're gonna go ahead and get out of here for.
Okay, your middle name is Macho, but I'm wondering if you ever cry. Has Macho Man ever cried?
Yeah.
Really?
It's okay for macho men to show every emotion available right there, because I've cried 1,000 times, I'm gonna cry some more. But I've soared with the eagles and I've slithered with the snakes and I've been everywhere in between. And I'm gonna tell you something right now. There's one guarantee in life, and that there are no guarantees, yeah. And you gotta understand this. Yeah. Nobody likes a quitter. Nobody said life was easy, so if you get knocked down, take the standing 8 count, get back up, and fight again. And you're a macho maniac. Dig it.
Because an alchemist doesn't take their haters' energy and transmute it. That doesn't even mean anything. An alchemist takes a hater and turns them into a friend. An alchemist learns over and over again that nothing in this life is personal. An alchemist knows how to separate the earth from the fire, the subtle from the gross, gently and with unremitting care. An alchemist doesn't throw around cliches and aphorisms without knowing where they came from. An alchemist doesn't use a word that they don't have the literature for or understand the context or culture of. Being an alchemist isn't something you do and then move on from. It's literally a way of life, one that requires a commitment that most of us are not willing to make. Are you willing to be triggered by somebody's opinion that completely conflicts with your own and approach them with curiosity and love and openness? Do you have a genuine willingness to understand that which disagrees with you on the most fundamental level? Are you ready to accept the fact that there are always going to be parts of you that will remain undiscovered? There are parts of you you may never reach. Are you ready to be like a tree? Because I told you this a long time ago. That's all it takes. What does a tree do? It looks like it's just standing there, but a tree is always pushing against the edges of itself. A tree is always rising, no matter how subtly or how silently. She knows. The work never ends. And once you take that first step, once you genuinely peel back the veil, there's no going back. And if you're gonna open that door and not follow through, it's just gonna make your life harder. Because once you take even the slightest little glance behind the veil, it's gonna be really hard to unsee. Are you willing to see every moment and every interaction as an opportunity for you to grow?
Yet in holding scientific research and discovery in respect, as we should, we must also be alert to the equal and opposite danger that public policy could itself become the captive of a scientific, technological elite.
We choose to go to the moon.
I'm talking to you by telephone from the Oval Room at the White House.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great honor and privilege for us to be here.
First question I was wondering, when are we going back to the moon?
It's taken us many years to open this door to useful cooperation in space between our two countries. And may I say, in signing off, here's to a soft landing.
All of them spin-offs of space technology. That's why Jimmy Carter from Georgia
and Gerald Ford from California agree.
Space technology has down-to-earth benefits for everyone.
America is going to space again, and we're going there to stay.
And next, for the new century, back to the moon, back to the future, and this time, back to stay.
That's a great dream. But that and our other dreams are clearly the natural extensions of the space program which began a generation ago.
Is to return to the moon by 2020 as the launching point for missions beyond. Beginning no later than 2008, using the Crew Exploration Vehicle, we will undertake extended human missions to the moon as early as 2015.
By the mid-2030s, I believe we can send humans to orbit Mars and return them safely to Earth. And a landing on Mars will follow. And I expect to be around to see it.